The fact that something like this could happen in our world, and not a single news media has broke this story, not at all. In fact, if you Google search it, it is quite a difficult find, which is all that much more suspicious with a story of this kind of size, this magnitude. And yet, here we are. Hang on to your britches, it's gonna get real. A couple of days in Miami, Florida, at a mall, the local police were dispatched to the mall for an argument, a fight that broke out between juveniles. Juveniles, they say, had sticks and fireworks. Oh my. But ultimately the call, what they claim was the call, the reason for the police officers to arrive at the scene, was due to a fight that had broken out between juveniles who had sticks and fireworks. But Auntie, why do you care if that's on the news? That isn't a big deal. No, my friend, no, it's not. It is definitely not that big of a deal. I agree with you, and it is definitely, hands down, not a big enough deal for the local Miami Police Department to show up on the scene just like this. Right? That seems like a lot of officers to show up, but my friends, that is not anywhere near all that came. And once you understand and you hear the eyewitnesses' stories, I believe you will at that point understand a little bit better as to why so many police officers, probably 100, along with choppers, black choppers from the PD, patrolling the scene from above. And according to witnesses, eyewitnesses there, the Miami police was not dispatched there for a juvenile fight. And the obvious need for such an enormous police presence was far more sinister than what we've been told. As multiple witnesses claimed to have seen, I can't believe I'm going to say this, creatures that stood 8 to 10 feet tall, walking outside and even inside of the mall. And the pew-pews that were reported, and even the pew-pews you might hear in some of the videos, had nothing to do with the juvenile fight. According to these witnesses, it was actually the mall-goers shooting to protect themselves from these 8 to 10 foot tall creatures in self-defense. But wait, it gets better. Along with the ridiculously high number of police officers that arrived on the scene and the helicopter flying above, apparently after this incident was phoned into the police, the black PD helicopters were the only things flying that night in the Miami sky. As the Miami airport was shut down, still no flights going or coming at Miami International, only one PD helicopter patrolling the area. Thank goodness for social media though, because where would we be in situations like this when the media chooses not to report if we didn't have incredible people going to social media to post details about it themselves? Can someone confirm they've cut the police scanner? Check flight tracker, doesn't look like any flights leaving or coming into MIA. You can see the helicopter doing loops. Yes, they cut the scanners. Multiple people claim they saw 8 to 10 foot tall aliens or very tall zombies, and it caused shoppers panic. There are now black helicopters flying and everything is blocked off. Power has also been cut in a few blocks and at the mall. So you're gonna tell me that the police literally cut the public's access to the police scanners? All because some juveniles are fighting with sticks? Okay. And they're gonna cut the power, not only to surrounding areas, but also the power to the mall itself. So much so that 61,290 homes are without power at that time. On Reddit, we found anyone following what happened in Miami last night, apparently mass sighting of 7 to 10 foot tall creatures. Flights halted, police radio cut off, and helicopters patrolling. So are you really telling me that they're hoping, they're praying that we are all going to just believe this? Miami police, a large fight broke out involving several juveniles, some of whom may have been armed with some kind of sticks. Police are still continuing their investigation at this time. Okay, you know who else is doing their investigation at this time? Me and the rest of the world. You cannot be serious when you tell me you're gonna cut the power to the mall and multiple homes in Miami, shut down a whole airport, no planes in and no planes out, have hundreds of police officers storming the mall, rushing to the scene, and black PD helicopters scouring and patrolling the area from above. All simply because of a juvenile fight where some of the juveniles were armed with some kind of sticks. No sir, I kindly reject this.
So with y'all seeing everything that I was looking at, I was like, wait a minute. Why is this sounding familiar to me? I basically shared a video, which I'm gonna show y'all a snippet of, where I was sharing like different things that the Lord was showing me and telling me around January, and this was in 2018. The video I will link in the description box if you want to see it in its entirety, but I didn't want to put the whole video on here because it would make this video extremely long. But I took little snippets of that video and I share a dream with you guys that I had in regards to seeing a giant or giants climbing on the side of this mountain, but what was sitting on top of the mountain was a mall. And also, what I didn't share in the video, I don't know why I didn't. I think I was trying to make the video as short as possible, but I went into my dream journal and I showed y'all that I have a big pink notebook that I have printed all of my dreams in. And it took me some time to find the dream, but I found it. And basically, I had this dream. It was either on January the 29th or January the 30th of 2018. So what I saw in its entirety, at first I was outside of this mall and I was standing from afar and I saw these giants climbing on the side of this mountain. But what was interesting was it was a mountain, but the mall was sitting on top of the mountain. And I could see these giants literally climbing on the side of it. So once I got inside the mall, I saw zombies and they were inside the mall and people were trying to leave to escape. And I just remember when I was inside this mall, it was like at first people were just shopping, just kind of going about their everyday thing. And all of a sudden, these zombies just popped out of nowhere and people were literally freaking out and they was running in terror and in panic. And I woke up from that. But y'all, I had this dream January the 29th or January the 30th of 2018. I do not find this to be a coincidence, y'all, that I would dream this. And here it is. We are in 2024, January 2024, literally almost 6 years since I had this dream. And here it is. We're hearing about this incident that took place at a mall in Miami, Florida, where they witnessed 8 to 10 feet creatures or giants or zombies. You hear them describing it in different ways. But when I heard that, it was like my heart was beating almost out my chest. I was like, oh my gosh, Lord. And so another thing I want to say, and I know I've shared it, but sometimes it's so hard to find things because I may not always write things down in my journal. I'll just go on live and I'll share the dream. But I also had a couple of dreams as well where the first dream I had, I knew I was in Florida and I saw this giant octopus. I don't know how else to explain it, but it was a giant octopus. And I remember the thing just came out of nowhere and people were literally screaming in terror. And the tentacles were so huge and so long, you could not escape the tentacles because this thing was massive. And I could just see so much destruction. It wasn't just destroying buildings and all type of landmarks, but it was also taking the lives of many people that was in this area. Another dream I had, and I can't remember the years that I had these two dreams because I lost a journal about 5 years ago. And believe me, it's been so hard for me to deal with the fact that I did lose all those dreams. But anyway, the second dream I had, again, I knew I was in Florida and I was in one of those malls where, you know how you have malls where you're just kind of outside? I don't know what you call it, like a outlet mall. I was like in an outlet mall in Florida. And again, it was like everybody was just shopping as usual. And all of a sudden, these spirits, like, they just started popping up out of nowhere, and I could hear these spirits speaking. And these spirits had so much venom and anger towards humans, and I could see them like choking the life out of people. And some of them were like, some of the humans were submitting so that they wouldn't be killed. And it was a very freaky scene, but I saw that. And so I don't know what it is about Florida, but this is, like I said, I've had two dreams that I can recall off the top of my head where I've seen some type of demonic spiritual attack, something manifesting from a demonic realm, and it was targeting humans and just causing mass destruction. So I don't know. I just wanted to come on here and share this with you guys because I did not find this to be a coincidence at all. And the Lord began to talk to me. He said, the wickedness, the sin, the perversion that has gone on in Hollywood, it runs deep. And the filth is beyond what you can even imagine. And I remember telling you guys, I think it was last year or the year before, where right before I woke up, I heard the Lord say that Hollywood will be shaken. I had a dream, I believe a little over a week ago, about seeing giants again. And they was climbing on the side of the mountains where I saw this mall. This mall was sitting on top of a mountain, a mall on top of a mountain, and I could see these huge giants crawling up the sides of the mountain. And these people had no clue of the dangers that was lurking. I mean, it was almost at the top, and it gave me the creeps when I saw them. And I know the Lord keeps showing me these giants for a reason. Just like when in that vision I shared with you all, when I told you all that I heard my cousin tell me that Obama made a statement on TV, and he said the signs in the heavens are about to begin. We have been seeing so many signs in the heavens. It is crazy. Sometimes it's just hard to know how to condense these messages because the Lord is just showing so much.